Right, so for the next forum, let me give you a little bit of my background. My mum is 84. For most part of her youth, she held a job. Working class parents, both dad and mum, understood the value of earning your keeps. Nothing comes easy, nothing comes free. Retirement eventually caught up with them. For mum, it was not by choice. On more occasions than one, mum has lamented, "I wish I can be employed again. All this housework, washing, cleaning, cooking, so much work, not even enjoyable, and all for free, without wages. How unexciting, I would go back to work again." That's what mom says. So with such grassroots accounts, let's welcome Associate Professor Dr. Rahima Ibrahim for a second forum. The silver hair industry, is there a marketplace for seniors?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you all hear me? No?
Testing.
So good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And we have now come to the second forum for this event. I am Rahima Ibrahim, the Deputy Director at My Aging and also the Chair of this program. Okay, so with me, we have 4 panelists, and I believe that one more panelists are joining us online. Yeah. So our first panelist, Dr. Kong Wai Hong from AIM Healthcare, iElder Asia. Our second panelist, Mr. Delren Terence Douglas, the President, Association for Residential Aged Care Operators of Malaysia, AGECO. Next to me, Mr. James Tan, the CEO of Suntrack Development Sdn Bhd and co-chairman for the Retirement Village Aged Care Subcommittee, Real Estate and Housing Developers Association Malaysia, or REDA. And we have with us Ms. Jasmine Amirul Ghani, the Managing Director for Higher Seniors. And the last person on the panel is Mr. Muhammad Rozandi Muhammad Ruslim. He's the Assistant Director for the Labour Standards Division for the Human Resource Ministry. Yeah? And he'll be joining us via Zoom. Okay. I will now invite each panelist to make a short introduction or statement. Keep it down to 3 to 5 minutes, please. Thank you. We'll start with Dr. Kong.
Good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kong Wai Hong, founder of the Asian Integrated Medical Sdn Bhd. So it's an AIM, elderly-focused e-commerce platform, iElder.Asia. So I have been practicing medicine for 23 years now, in both traditional Chinese medicine as well and medical, with a PhD in TCM oncology as well, specialty in cancer treatment. So currently I am a medical doctor in my own polyclinic, Perdana, and a TCM acupuncturist and oncologist in my acupuncturist center, and visiting lecturer in the INTI International University and Salmon University Malaysia as well. So I found AIMS is because of in the hope of combining the wisdom and techniques of both traditional and Western medicine to provide a new alternative form of therapy to whoever, for myself as well. Somewhere during that time, I had an experience where my patients encountered an accident and slept while they was in the washroom this experience served me a awakening that made me realize that we lack of the devices that could assist the elderly who face difficulty going about their daily activities. So I founded iElder.Asia, the mission of creating a better life for the elderly, to seek out, introduce the innovative devices and supplements that would provide a better standard of living. So it is my ambition to become the first e-commerce portal to innovative products for the elderly, and to be the brand representative for the innovative solution for elderly care in Southeast Asia. So here at iElder.Asia, we are constantly working hard to bring together various manufacturers of elderly care solutions to partner up with them and create a catalog of the best elderly care solution available. We always make sure that we fully understand each product before including them in our catalogs, and go great lengths to ensure that all our products has the proper license, so that our customer only receive reliable solution for their facility and household. So an example of one of the products that we carry, multi-purpose mobile transfer chair, which allow you to safely relocate your elderly parents and patients, minimizing the risk of accidents. So our goal is to allow the elderly to be able to achieve more independent lifestyle without the risk of the accident or injuries, especially my patient. There are many old age people, elderly. I think basically there are four, mainly in the bathroom or in the bedroom. Normally they were suffering from the fracture of the hip joint or knee joint or the collis fractures, all these fractures, yeah? So basically for them, normally they came to us just for the sake of some chronic treatment, chronic illness treatment. But once they fell down, their quality of life totally gone. They need to lie on the bed for a few months, and then get bed sore, get other things out, and then poor diet, then gone, bye-bye. So I think this is a very sad story. So I think to achieve this goal, we constantly browse the market across the globe to find the newest, most innovative solution available, and find a way for households and facilities here to find full access to these solutions. So if you want to, if anyone who might have question of accessibility for this product due to the financial challenge, I think Malaysia government have introduced Belanjawan 2021 program, which includes a tax exemption and up to 8,000 ringgit Malaysia. Is available for medical treatment, special device, and parental care. So that's all I want to share. And then thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kong. We have heard all about the products and services that are in great demand these days, because our older person and their family members require support in caregiving, and also to keep elderly independent and active. So let's move to Mr. Darren for his introduction.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Darren Douglas. I'm the current president of the Association of Aged Care Operators Malaysia, or in Bahasa Malaysia is Persatuan Pengendali Rumah Pengediaman Warga Emas Malaysia. Okay, I would like to thank first UPM and UNFA, United Nations Population Fund, for organizing this. What Age Group, our acronym is Age Group. What Age Group is all about is that we comprise of care operators, whether they are welfare, aid, charity homes, private homes, or people who are related to the aged care. Our members comprise all, and they can come also from NGOs, church, suraus, and Buddhist Association or Hindu Sangam. So we will try to cover as many as possible, because we all have the same direction, which is taking care of elderly people. Age Group started in 2016, again due to UN funding population fund, and UPM. We would like to thank them for helping us to start up in the year 2016. Since 2016 to today, our members have increased, especially during the time of COVID, whereby a lot of homes had difficulties getting food, especially the charitable homes, and they were looking for people to help them, and that's where Age Group helped to step in and fill in the gap when everything was haywire in the beginning. And we also helped them, many of them, because many policemen or frontliners were not sure how to classify caregivers in the initial stages of the MCO. A lot of staff couldn't go to work when the whole population of the country didn't go to work. Caregivers also were not allowed to go to work. So if caregivers were not allowed to go to work, who is going to take care of the elderly? So we stepped in again, we managed to get the letters for them, we managed to talk to KKM and JKM, and everything worked fine for all the care operators. We have 3 visions only. I'll try to make it short. We have only 3 visions. One, the first one is, there is a bulk of unlicensed homes in the country. Age Group is trying to help them to get their license, because we will try to work with the government, because a lot of them are unlicensed, not because they do not want to, because of the red tapes that they face in getting licenses. So we are trying to help them. That's number one. Number two, we are trying to upgrade the health care for the elderly. When we say upgrade, it's split into 3. The caregivers, the training for the caregivers, the health, nutrition for the elderly, and the physio activities for the elderly. So we are trying to upgrade the care for the people in all the 1,700 care homes in this country. And finally, the last one is upgrading of facilities. We have come across many charitable homes that cannot upgrade because lack of funding, lack of resources. So we are trying to find or help them in the long run how to get government grants or work with related parties to help them to upgrade. This is what Age Group is all about.
Thank you, Mr. Darren. We now move on to Mr. James Tan.
I'll keep it very fast, promise.
Yes, thank you.
James Tan, CEO, Suntrack Development, that's the private side, but today I'm invited on behalf of Real Estate Housing Developer Association, so I'm here speaking on behalf of REDA. I'm the chairman for the Retirement Village Aged Care Subcommittee. The REDA National has seen the potential, has seen the need, the growing need, and the increasing importance of our contribution and participation in the conversation towards preparing our country for aging, suitable homes, suitable communities. So we have a big role to play in terms of the hardware. So we're the building guys over here. And we actively engage with Ministry of Health, we actively engage with Plan Malaysia in suitable guidelines, and also firefighters on suitable strategies in keeping everyone safe. And we look forward to work with Age Group as well, because a lot of our members want to be part of the conversation, want to be part of the provision of suitable care facilities, and we want to work with operators to provide such services to our townships. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. We now move to Ms. Jasmine.
Now it's working. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Jasmine. Thank you very much for having me. I represent Higher Seniors. We're basically an employment agency focused on connecting seniors or those aged 50 and above, mature adults, to jobs. And you know, our service is free for seniors, but we do charge a fee because we're a social enterprise to employers. So we are seeing many mature adults wanting to return to work or to continue working. You know, everyone's living healthier lives today. Technology is helping as well. You know, with COVID as well, we're seeing a lot more flexibility, and that suits the older generation in terms of their ability to work from home and that flexibility. Many want to continue to contribute because, you know, we've got people with 30, 40 years of experience, and it's absolutely waste to see them when they retire, and all of that knowledge and experience just goes to waste. So the idea is to connect them with companies that could leverage on that experience, right? And it goes two ways as well, because then they get to stay mentally active, socially active, and everyone benefits. And you know, for some, we have seen quite a bit that do need the extra money with the higher cost of living, and so this helps as well. Now, in terms of companies, we offer the ability to hire experience. As I mentioned, you know, you're getting people with 30, 40 years of experience, able to hit the ground running. My husband was trying to hire an accountant, and he was saying, if only I could get someone in for just 6 months, help me clear the accounts. I don't have time to train a fresh graduate to do this, and this is where, a senior or a retiree is perfect for the job. There's also cost savings, and when we say higher value, we mean that for some jobs, some people say, we've had an employer that said, I want to hire someone just to do my payroll. But then we had someone who was a senior who had worked as a finance manager for 30 years, retired as a senior finance manager, saying, I don't mind, I want to do payroll also because I want it easy now. So this company actually got someone that's worth 20, 30,000 ringgit at the point of retirement, working for 5,000 ringgit. So you get value for money, and this person brought a whole bunch of experience to the job. And the last is in terms of flexibility as well. So, the younger generation will want career path. They want, promotions. The older generation just goes, I just want to keep busy. I don't mind doing this for 2 weeks. No problem. So that flexibility is something that you can't get anywhere else except in this generation. So our traction so far, we've been around for about 3 years now. We've got 5,000 registered with us. Through some of our partners, we have access to 50,000 more, such as Co-op that gives us access to the civil servants and so on. We work with Prokeso and Securities Commission and Khazanah. We work mainly with a lot of local companies as well as MNCs. So I just want to quickly share. We're very fortunate. We've been appointed by Khazanah National to run a program called My Step. So this was initially targeted at getting graduates jobs for 6 months, short-term employment. But they reached out to us and said, can you do this for seniors? So we're in the midst of getting jobs. We'll have about 100 different roles to place seniors in. And this is a fantastic opportunity for both employers as well as seniors, because during that 6 months, they get an allowance ranging from 2,500 to 6,000 ringgit, fully paid for by the government. And this gives companies the opportunity to try out what it's like to have a senior on board at absolutely no risk. And then if everything goes well, you continue, hiring that person. So we've already published quite a few jobs, and there are many more to come. So this is very exciting. And I guess in line with today's discussion topic, I just wanted to share that in our journey in Hire Seniors, we've quickly realized that there's so much more that goes beyond employment. Seniors obviously, are more interested in various other areas as well. So we did a quick survey of all our candidates, and we got to understand that there were various other areas. They were keen on travel. They're keen on, continued learning, social and community events, as well as, lifestyle, health, and fitness. So what we have done, and we're in the works of doing right now, is we are about to launch a platform that basically connects the senior market to companies, merchants, vendors, or anyone that basically wants to reach the seniors community, the ability to do so. So it'll have, deals, it'll have events, we want to create an online community as well, so that seniors can ask questions, where can I find the best, chiropractor, for example, and everyone can give feedback, and we want to get that conversation going. At the same time, connecting them to companies, so that it's a very targeted access. So we're very excited about this. We'll be launching this in the next few months, so stay tuned for more.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great introduction to Hire Seniors. So we've had Dr. Kong and Mr. Darren, Mr. James, and also Ms. Jasmine. I'm wondering if the Mr. Muhammad Rosandi from JTK, Jabatan Tenaga Kerja, would like to say a few words.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi tuan-tuan. Nama saya Muhammad Rosandi bin Muslim. Saya adalah Assistant Director of Labour di Ministry of Human Resources Putrajaya. Sedikitlah berkenaan Labour Department. Kami lebih kepada labour security dan menjaga undang-undang di bawahnya seperti Employment Act 1955 dan sebagainya lah, minimum retirement age dan sebagainya lah tuan-tuan. Jadi saya rasa tak perlu sepanjang, and then kita boleh move on dengan kita punya forum. Terima kasih.
Okay, terima kasih Encik Muhammad Rosandi. So JTK is under the Ministry of Human Resource, and this ministry also have a department that deals with the issues on elderly as well, in terms of labor force, right? So, okay, let's move on to the questions, shall we? Okay, the first question, I will ask, because I'm a lecturer, so I'm used to walking around my classroom. So, Dr. Kong, the next question is for you. The question is, older persons are consumers and we all need the same things in life, yeah? Food, shelter, clothing, transport, healthcare and other pursuits in life. Clearly, we can see there are more and more goods and services that target the elderly market, be it from food supplements to gerund tourism. Yeah, do you think the silver hair market exists for Malaysia?
Definitely yes. But the thing is, what I think I compare to other country like developed country, but Malaysia still is a developing country. So I think market, of course, is so-called financial. So of course, market there is market because our population is getting more and more. And then just now we talk about 2025, we can achieve about 15% of the population is more than 65 above. Yeah, I think there's a huge market. But the thing is, I think the most important, what we should do now is we need to improve our Malaysia economy first. The economy Malaysia, because if you have market but they have no money to buy or have no money to even stay in the nursing home. I have a nursing home, but for those poor income patient, even 1,000 they still need to bargain. Pampers got or not, supply Pampers or not, supply caregiver or not. Even we want to get a caregiver, who want to do? Local Malaysian? No one to do. Give 3,000, want to do? Yes, 1 week, cabut. Why? Mau gosok buntut itu tak mau. I think this is the main problem of Malaysian. Maybe for youngster, we need to encourage more people, more youngster people. Just now we talk about volunteer. Who want to do? Mostly volunteer is above 50. Yes, because they have nothing to do, don't volunteer. But even I have one uncle to approach me. He is 75 years old. He approached me, he said, do you have any vacancy caregiver for me? I asked him, are you healthy? Can you work? Yes, I can carry patient, everything. So I give him the chance. So work 1 week, then got problem also. Back pain, here pain, because cannot carry. You see, no youngster want to apply. So I think basically market, yes. But yeah, I think what we should do is now, not until that time. So.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kong. The issue of care, yeah, it's an unglamorous work and not many people would like to do it. So my next question is directed to Mr. Darren. Okay, now let us get into this for-profit and non-profit distinction. You are familiar with this, right? We know sustainability is the most important criteria for any business longevity. And our customers are the best feedback for monitoring and evaluation purposes. Is the social enterprise model a way forward, or is the silver hair market in Malaysia faced with an uneven playing field? So what are the problems facing service providers for older persons?
Definitely not level playing field, definitely. We have the T20, the middle income, and the B40. So much difference in the sense that I have come across my members, age group members, who charges up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 per month to take care of their family members. I also come across those only charging 300 to 600 a month because the family members can't even afford. And those paying $300 a month, that $300 sometimes comes from Jabatan Kebajikan. They have to go and source from Jabatan Kebajikan for that 300 just to pay to take care. Imagine taking care of an elderly for just $10 a day. Can afford or not? Do you think those running the center with the lack of staff, with the possibility of paying so much to get caregivers to come in, do you think they can run? Definitely no. Many of them will close down. The reason I'm in this field in the year 2011 was because there were 3 nurses taking care of a center they cannot sustain anymore. And when I brought donations there last time, they told me, I told them, this need maintenance, your drain is broken. They said, Darren, it's not so easy to get donations anymore. If you think it's so easy, why not you just take over our center? And that's where I got involved in taking care of the elderly, because I took the challenge. I resigned my banking job, took a challenge to run a center charity-wise. Yes, it's difficult, but you must have a lot of circle of friends to assist you. And if you do not have that circle of friends, or you do not have people who have good economic background financially to sustain you, you will never last long. So it's not a level playing field. And today, I had a staff not turning up for work because he came 2 days, gave them a job. Yesterday, half day, say mother family problem, left. Today, never turn up. You see, that's what we are facing today. And I was sitting there, and I have to solve my staff problem just now. So this is not a level playing field. I can't afford to pay 3,000 a month to get a caregiver. So we need help. We need assistance, and if there is no assistance to the lower level charity NGOs, we will slowly close down.
Thank you, Darren. James, you want to say something?
I haven't run an aged care home, so for me, talk is cheap. I qualify my statement. But I've done enough research, and this is my personal vision. It might slightly be different from yours, okay? But we're here to explore different ideas, so feel free to disagree with me. My slightly different idea is that, if you go to Australia or Japan, all the carers are locals. And you go like, wow, got Australian also want to, do dirty work. So I think it boils down to training. It boils down to recognition to the profession of caregivers. It boils down to providing proper equipment like lifters and all that. People don't have to break their backs to carry anyone. It boils down to suitable premises such that the entire place is wheelchair friendly. There's enough space beside the WC for the carer to help them. So that I feel could be a glimpse of hope for our industry, for Malaysian to progress towards suitable care premises such that the care industry can progress forward. Second point I'd like to make is that I often join conferences, and because I represent mostly private entities, the government sometimes will then ask me, what about B40? You talk so much. What are you going to do about the poor income people? Then I go, okay. This is my take, and I'd like to share with all of you. I feel that the care industry, specifically the aged care industry, has to first mature and evolve in the M40 segment. Unfortunately, them first. We need to get the paying model sustainable, feasible, viable, properly licensed, regulated, meet industry standards. We get that up and running and establish a mature industry, and then the government can use that and provide a subsidy scheme, call a tender perhaps, and work with care operators downwards to subsidize the cares for the B40 and get them involved. A successful model can be already seen in Singapore. The same building of a care center has the subsidized floor and the non-subsidized floors. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, James. We hope to see that glimmer of hope happening in Malaysia soon. Yeah? And at this juncture, I would like to invite one question from the floor, if there are any. Yes, we have one question there. Let's take that question from...
Okay, thank you. Nama saya Ubakar. As I listen from the panelists, I understand that to run the welfare sector is very difficult in getting volunteers. Unless you train up the volunteers to be patient, to be a human with kasih sayang. It's very important. I am the volunteers also been built up by Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. They spent $1 million to form up sukarelawan Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. They trained me well until I got a patient. I got kasih sayang, itu very important for the human touch. This is how to develop sukarelawan untuk buat kerja yang kata orang jijik, untuk menjaga warga emas yang terlantar, ya, mandikan dia, basuh berak dia dan sebagainya. Dan dilatih untuk saya menjadi susahkan diri sendiri untuk menyenangkan orang lain, baru boleh jadi sukarelawan. Jadi di sinilah kita harus bina untuk mendapatkan sukarelawan yang betul, suka, rela dan one. One means only God. Your welfare between you and God. Then you can be a really sukarelawan that can be a welfare people around you. Terima kasih. Itu pandangan saya, ya. Okay.
Terima kasih Encik Bakar. Probably Dr. Kong and Darren can respond to that.
Can I respond first? Berkenaan sukarelawan. Pandangan saya, orang muda-mudi sekarang taklah sama dengan zaman kita dahulu. Kita ni senang nak keluar untuk sukarela, buat kerja kebajikan. Tapi zaman sekarang, walaupun dibayar duit pun, diorang tak nak. Bukan benda yang boleh diajar dari, kalau diorang tak diajar dari rumah. Nak tunggu 19 tahun, 20 tahun baru nak ajar, susah. Sekarang semua duk cari duit. Mereka muda-muda sekarang semua nak glamour, nak cari duit. Benda-benda sukarelawan di rumah kebajikan tak ada dalam pandangan mereka sekarang. Oleh kerana itu, saya faham maksud tuan. Sebab tu sekarang di Sungai Petani, di bandar saya, bila ada saya jumpa cikgu-cikgu, saya minta cikgu-cikgu di sekolah di Sungai Petani datang ke rumah kebajikan saya yang sekendali, buat kerja di sana, tak payah beli barang, datang bergaul dengan warga emas, datang swap. Dia kena mula dari awal, dari muda. Bukan tunggu sampai 19 tahun, 20 tahun, 20 lebih tahun baru nak buat kerja sukarelawan. Tak. So kemungkinan Kementerian Pendidikan ke mana-mana badan kerajaan boleh masukkan ni dalam pelajaran di sekolah. Pergi ke pusat jagaan, sama ada ke budak-budak anak yatim ataupun ke pusat jagaan warga emas untuk buat kerja sukarelawan dari muda lagi. Baru boleh terapkan dalam naluri mereka untuk benda ni kena buat, benda ni kita kena belajar buat. Bukan dari umur 20-an. Budak-budak 20-an sekarang datang kerja, bayar gaji pun lepas 2 hari boleh lari. Sebab tak ada kasih sayang tu, yang a touch of love yang tuan maksud tadi, kasih sayang tak ada. Dia orang tengok duit. Kalau bayar tinggi 3,000, dia orang rasa duit. Kerana duit dia orang mai. Tapi kalau dia orang tengok kerja tak elok, 3,000 pun dia tak sanggup.
Okay.
Saya bercerita pasal apa, kita share pengalaman. Saya bin sukarelawan dalam usia emas. So kita selalu berterusan buat ziarah ke rumah. Ya? Model seperti kita, seorang sukarelawan, dia ada credit hours dia. Dalam sebulan mereka kena selesaikan 3 jam untuk seorang warga emas. Dia berterusan. Hakta sekarang ni sampai dah 7 tahun dengan mereka. Ya? Jadi bagaimana jati diri sukarelawan kami, ya, menghadapi kerenah, ya, dengan warga emas, ya. Kerana kami berterusan memberi khidmat kami kepada mereka. Jadi ini yang seharusnya kita kena fikir bersama, bagaimana kita ada hampir 400 sukarelawan sekarang yang masih memberi khidmat kepada warga emas. Yang berdaftar kami lebih kurang 2,000 warga emas. Kita tidak ada rumah perlindungan. Kita tidak ada rumah sebagaimana tuan-tuan panelis ada, ya. Tapi kita pergi ke rumah mereka untuk memberi khidmat.
Terima kasih Encik Abu Bakar. Thank you for your point. Okay, we are talking about the silver hair industry, about the products and services for older persons and their family members in Malaysia. So we have care home services, we have products, elderly friendly products, we have jobs for seniors, and also we are looking at the real estate development for housing, elderly friendly housing. And I was wondering if Ms. Jasmine can talk a little bit about the training, if you have any, for example, for when you recruit older persons, do you provide some training or some kind of internship program for your staff?
Yeah, so basically under the current program that I mentioned just now, Kazana, the MyStep program, if you are selected into that program, the 100 participants would undergo training that would be conducted by us. And the kind of training that we're aiming to provide is basically to enhance their employability. So it's things like how do you attend interviews, how do you write a good resume that gets the attention of employers, and more importantly is how do you communicate and get along with the younger generation at work, because what used to be handwritten memos today is WhatsApps and emails, and avoid the long, lengthy phone calls. People don't have time for that. Things like that, right? And how do you then identify what are some of your key strengths? How do you leverage those strengths in the workplace so that people appreciate you for who you are, right? And rather than looking at other aspects such as age, for example, because there's a lot of things that they can bring to the workplace. So. And we also give them refreshers on, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. Sometimes you do forget, the older versions that you're used to. So we do provide all of that as part of the training program under this program.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Are there any statistics on how many job applications have that been? How forthcoming are the seniors in applying for jobs? And then has any survey been done about discrimination against the aged in jobs?
Good question. So we were working with Talent Corp, Ministry of HR at one point. This was previous government. And they actually sent out a survey basically to help us to understand what were some of the issues that we were facing with employers. Because age bias is real, it exists. We've seen many cases where when we speak to HR, and HR is very open, right? They're all like, oh, diversity and inclusion, yes, we want to hire a senior, great. But then when it goes down to the business level and the hiring manager side, they go, oh, I have a 60-year-old with 30 years of experience, but I also have a 35-year-old or 30-year-old with 5 years experience. I think I'll hire the 30-year-old, right? So for whatever reason, and we were seeking to understand what is it? Is it because you maybe segan to tell off someone a bit older? Is it that respect thing? Or is it just that you think that someone who's older is not as effective? What is it, right? So that survey, unfortunately, has not been published because there was some changes in management and all that. But essentially what we got to understand was it's really a mixture, and there's a lot of work that still needs to be done to address the age bias amongst hiring managers. But the good news is we are seeing more and more progressive employers out there who are who can see the value that the experience that they bring and are willing to give it a try. But it goes both ways as well, because there are also people who are looking for jobs who go, ayo, jauhnya, I want something that's next to my house, for example, right? And we also get bias amongst family members. So they go, the dad says, I've got a job, I'm going to start working tomorrow. And the son goes, no, you should not be working. So there's many biases that need to be addressed.
So yeah, the family members can be protective of their older family members. How much time left do I have? Because we are nearing lunchtime. Yes, thank you. So if there are no other questions from the floor, oh yeah, we have one here.
Hello. Okay, I'm Izati. I'm from Teman, Malaysia. So I have a question for Ms. Jasmine. Is there any organizations or companies that are looking for elderlies that provide platforms for maybe consultations or mentoring? Maybe they cannot take in this elderly for employment, for 6 months employment, but are they open to consultation and mentoring by these expert seniors?
So I think it comes down to how open that organization is and whether or not they see the value that the seniors would bring. So we don't know of any right now, but if they do reach out to us, we'd be happy to provide that, because that would be something that would be fantastic, because there is a lot of expertise there that they can provide. And actually that's one of the areas that we are providing training for as part of that program that I mentioned. In terms of how do you, if you were to go into the workplace, how can you leverage your past experience and skills to mentor the younger generation and to coach the younger generation in a way that everyone gets along without being too condescending and all that stuff. So.
Okay, do we have time for polling? Yeah?
One thing. Talking about marketplace for seniors, I would love to see when old people are put in place into the senior citizens are placed into old folks homes, how do we market the skills they have while they are in the old folks home? Because a lot of them are idle, a lot of them have knowledge, a lot of them are experienced, but this market is not tapped. Yeah, so you may want to work with AgeCope to tap the market. About 30,000 senior citizens in the current old folks home. Maybe one day we can tap all the market instead of letting them place there, sit there, idle, activity, watch TV, sleep. That's what is happening now. So we can work on this. Or maybe other companies here or anyone with experience can work with the charity homes in your area to tap on the old people there.
Satu RSK, satu produk. So tak payah RSK lah, kita pun boleh buat produk.
Yes, we also can tap on this
For
marketplace.
those people who know what's the RSK, because every government old folks homes, they actually try and produce something, but they're mostly ornamental or there's something that they can sell. But this is something we can adopt. Dr. Rahima, you have time to run a short poll. We can just teach them how to do it, then we can progress to the next agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there are, can the technicals show the slide for Forum 2, please? And they, on the participants table, there are QR codes as well. Okay, next slide. All right. So in this poll, there are three statements that you need to indicate whether whether you agree or disagree. Yeah. So the first statement: older persons can still contribute and they should be in the workforce as long as possible. The QR code is the green one, yeah? So please scan the green one. And next slide, please. Yeah. So you can go to, for you to participate, you can go to www.menti.com or just key in menti.com in your browser and use the code 5083346, or you can scan the QR code on the table, the green QR code. Yeah? And you can try to answer whether you agree or disagree on the statements.
We can even tap all the QR codes, you can share the results later.
Yeah, right. Okay, next, can Dreamery go to the next slide and click on the link? We can see the live results. So with me here today are people from various backgrounds, and this is what we call the hybrid, organizations. Yeah? They are not welfare, they are not totally welfare, they are not totally private. Like Ms. Jasmine's organization is a social enterprise. So the association has a purpose, has a social purpose. So we are seeing that when you key in your answer, you can see the live results on the screen here. So a lot of people agree that older persons can still contribute and they should be in the workforce as long as possible. And I believe that's what Ms. Jasmine is aiming for. Older persons are consumers. Dr. Kong, older persons are consumers of a diverse range of products and services. We need these new products, these elderly-friendly products. And we also seeing that participants have agreed that older persons need different options and choices whether they are rich or poor. So we need alternatives in the market that is affordable for the large majority of Malaysians, not just a niche market, yeah, but one that is affordable, like James was saying, for the M40. Yeah? And more of these products and services should be available in the future. I will now let the panel give their last brief comments before we end the session. 1 minute each. Dr. Kong, you want to start, or Darren, you want to start first? Dr. Kong.
Okay. Thank you very much, the committee, for inviting me to be here. I think this is a very good opportunity. I think we are facing the same problem. We are heading to that problem. So for me, I always advise my patient. The most important is not think so far. The most important now, how you take care of your health first. First is health. Because the burden for the elderly person is because of sick illness. If you really like Mahathir, healthy until 98, no problem. I think the most important how you really take care. I think everyone know how to take care, but just maybe you give many excuses. Here lah, there lah, this lah, that lah. Many excuses. I think this is the first thing. The other things is money. I think the money ones don't depend on your children. You must look for yourself. I think the money, but I mean for this generation, for our generation, 50, because I 10 more years to go to be in that category. So I think now the most important is financial independence. So, because I can see a lot of elderly have this problem.
Dr. Kong, okay.
Yeah. No, I just want to throw my feeling, especially in this field so far. Especially why I want to look for so many products is I hope some people cannot send to the nursing home, but at least they can take care themselves or at home or for their children to take care themselves nicely or properly. So I think the most important is how you take care now. Thank you very much. Wish everyone healthy, prosperous, and long life. Thank you very much.
My final say is this. Dr. Kong has 10 years to go to be a senior citizen. I have 9 years to go to be a senior citizen. So what I'd like to say is that age group, we like to work with anyone and everyone who has the same motivation to take care of the elderly, whether in upgrading, whether in making sure that the elderly are taken care with proper caregivers, or with the technology available, or with radar, if they can come up with better planning, buildings, infrastructure, or with empowering the old people in the home. Anyone and everyone who works for the elderly age group will work together with you.
Thank you. Next, James.
Building is only one component of what makes a suitable seniors living environment. I have a personal story to share very quickly. I visited, I was just talking about lifters. In Australia, you need a doctor to sign off before you're allowed to use a lifter to carry a person off the bed, because the nurse job is to encourage the person to be as independent for as long as possible, to get off the bed by yourself, walk to the toilet by yourself, and you stay off adult products for as long as you can. And I shared a story with this nurse that I met in Australia that I'm so worried for my grandmother who climbs stairs. She's 88. And she said, if that makes her alive, Let her take risks. Let her live her life to the fullest. Let her be proud that she's still climbing stairs at 88, and let her continue. I'm so proud of her. Thank you.
Yep. Next.
Okay, I think I just want to say that we firmly believe that the silver economy and the silver market is huge, potentially huge. There's so much, there's so many products and services way beyond employment that we can tap on and that we can get into. And I'm looking forward to working with as many people as possible and many organizations as possible to make that happen, because it's the way forward, I think.
Thank you. Thank you, and I will now ask everyone to join me in thanking the panelists for their great insights and experience. Thank you very much.
You can leave the mic on the chair. It's great for an MC if the moderator keeps to time. So, Madam Moderator, terima kasih. Lunch will be served shortly. I've got 1.5 minutes to fill before Philomena announces lunch. I was thinking what to do, so I said I will share with you an appetizer. Yeah, about a minute. During this MCO, we are all stuck at home, especially senior citizens. They sit on the couch, watch television. In a research done, they were saying, what are the programs that these senior citizens watch? Not just Malaysia, all over. And surprisingly, one of them was that they enjoy watching those religious programs on television, the dakwah and those. So in America, it's very popular. These evangelists, they do very well as well. They promise you afterlife, and they also promise you to heal your sickness. So there was this couple sitting down on the couch one day, and there was on the television, the preacher promising to heal the sick. So this old man had difficulty climbing up on his sofa, took his walking stick, walked towards the television. His wife was wondering, what are you doing, old man? So he went there, as instructed by the evangelist. Place your hand on the television and place the other hand on the part that you want cured. So that's what he did. One hand on the television, the other hand on his crotch. The wife told him, darling, the preacher man promised to heal your sickness, but he didn't promise to raise the dead. Right, Philomena, over to you.
Thank you, Peter. So we've had mind food, soul food. It's now time for body food. Lunch is served. We'll go table by table to the lunch counter on your left. And at the same time, please have your restroom breaks, your toilet breaks. What's on the menu? We have nasi biryani with chicken kurma, vegetable dalcha, deep fried boiled egg with sambal. Thank you, KL Tower. We are here in KL Tower, Malaysia. We should be proud of where we are. We're very close to the skies. Yep, and that's where we will aim to go moving forward. So enjoy your lunch break. And at the same time, maybe you can prepare as well to listen in to the corporate videos that will be running by our sponsors. And we've got 1 or 2 panel speakers by our corporate partners. Peter will introduce you to them shortly. At the counter over there, there's a counter, a registration. Yeah, we have the Perak's Parkinson's Association. You don't need to move. Please stay where you are. We'll serve you lunch. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your lunch.